My room's messy because I'm packing to leave Indonesia to go to Thailand, and it is with great remorse that I'm making this video right now. I woke up to this notification. I've been thinking about it all day, thinking about how I can talk about this. Even labeling my emotions is like disappointed, angry, and filled with sorrow. And at the same time, powerless. And I know that this is right now the best I can do. So I'm going to do it. And I encourage you to do the same. So this news comes from the JAMA network, JAMA Internal Medicine Study, and entitled Association Between Forced Sexual Initiation and Health Outcomes Among US Women, and the CNN news article, which is what I got the notification for. 1 in 16 US women, their first experience with sexual intercourse was rape. My first initial reaction to this, honestly, was the thought that this was like a liberal article and that Republicans are gonna disagree or have a problem with it. The people I've talked to and the media that I've been exposed to over the past handful of years have led me to believe that Democrats are more serious about violence against women than Republicans are. Not that it's true, but that's been my experience. Please comment below if you've heard something differently. Give me a response. If you agree, give me a response, please. And nobody fight. Like don't argue. There's no point in arguing with people. Have a conversation. But you know, we went through the Brett Kavanaugh thing, and you know, people like SJW stuff, and I feel like Republicans want to take away rights from people. It's just, it's more content in the future. But that doesn't, none of this really matters, right? That was my first reaction. Like, I really want to talk about the reason women are assaulted. And there's a reason we call sexual violence power-based personal violence, right? You take dating violence, intimate partner violence, sexual assaults, rapes, stalking, manipulation, financial abuse. It's all about power. It's not about sex, it's about power. By the way, I researched sexual violence in my master's degree. I was a sexual violence prevention education coordinator for 2 different schools, kind of. I made educational material for both undergraduates and faculty and staff at universities. So I've spent time reading copious amounts of material on this, and I am pretty well educated. I have a lot to learn. But just know I'm not speaking out of my ass, even though I'm not like giving you a bunch of citations. If you want citations, please let me know, and I'll comment specific resources if you want them. I'm really pushed for time, that's all, people. So here's the deal. People can victim blame women all the time, like, well, what were they wearing? Where were they? Were they with their friends? That's a bunch of bullshit. Women wouldn't be sexually assaulted if men didn't sexually assault them. 98% of rapes are done by men, I'm pretty sure. A lot, most of them. Most women, like 98% of women, don't lie when they talk about being sexually assaulted, and sexual assaults go largely underreported for a lot of reasons. And my personal most important one is that most people don't know how to label sexual violence, or are afraid to. You can ask women, have you been raped? They will say no. And then you ask women, this is sometimes, has a man had sex with you when you didn't want him to? They might say yes. So there's a disconnect between being a victim of rape and being raped. Either it's education, either it's they don't want to feel like a victim, either they don't think it meets the threshold, like, well, he wasn't violent. It's a really, really terrible thing. In any case, if you don't want to have sex with somebody, you shouldn't have sex with them. You shouldn't be forced to have sex with them. You shouldn't be coerced to have sex with them. You shouldn't be scared to not have sex with them. It's your body. You should be able to have control and autonomy over it. This is like, it sounds like a basic human right, and I don't know why I feel like it's politicized, but here we are, politicized. Like it has a political leaning. So here's my point. How do we talk to men about appropriately having conversations with women? About consent? About when to have sex with a woman? Just kidding. I'm joking. If that's what you believe is the problem, you're wrong. And this isn't my opinion, it's David Lysick's opinion. These aren't men that need to have education on how to appropriately talk to women. They're predators. They seek power, domination, and control. They might believe that, I don't know, like sex is a right to them. I did say I don't know for that one. But most rapes come from men that have raped other people. And if you are raped or probably sexually assaulted by somebody, these people are like 13 times more likely to rape other people than somebody who has never raped before. Let me restate that. Man A rapes one person. They are substantially more likely to rape more people. And only 1% of rapes ends in conviction, I think. Check my math on that. It's like 11% of people report sexual assaults, and only 10% of those reports lead to convictions, therefore 1% of sexual assaults. I know I'm conflating sexual assault and rape sometimes. The statistics can get confusing. And I know there are levels of violence, but like sexual assault and rape are both like horrible, horrible things, and people that sexual assault like are much more likely to rape. So I put them together because I believe that people that sexually assault should be held strictly accountable and removed from society. We're talking about the long-term systematic oppression of women via the violation of their bodies. If you think the social justice system is appropriately holding men accountable for their actions right now, you're wrong. Stop defending men that are ruining people's lives. I've seen it firsthand on multiple occasions. I was a crisis manager at my university, and the stories and situations that people were put through are profoundly worse than what most people imagine when they think about sexual violence. So I rambled because I wanted to get this video out quickly. I will be making a lot more content, diving much more in depth on my research in grad school, having much more educational material that's readily available for people. I know there's a lot of content out there, but I think we all bring perspectives to the table, and I want to give mine. I want to leave with a word of advice and maybe hope for people that have been victimized by sexual violence. There are people in the world that are willing to listen to you. No matter what you have done in your life, you never deserved to be victimized. Even if you didn't have a lot of emotional fallout, that doesn't mean that what happened to you was terribly wrong. For example, if somebody slaps you in the face and there's not a bruise the next day, that doesn't mean the slap doesn't matter. I have some recent experience with some very non-traumatizing intimate partner violence that I will be sharing soon on this channel that has not left me emotionally damaged. But don't minimize your trauma. Don't minimize your situation. Maybe it wasn't traumatic at all. Tell your story always. The more people talk about these issues, the better it will get in the future. Society can't ignore the thunderous roar of people standing up against a history of oppressive men? Men. Things are changing. Look at the Me Too movement. And 1 in 16 is a daunting number. It's horrifying. I encourage you to keep fighting for a prosperous future. One where, God forbid, women are respected. And maybe I should start writing scripts for these things because I don't know what to say. If you know of a way that men can help women fight sexual violence, comment below. I'm doing the best that I can right now, and it's very, very little. And I want to do more into the future. So speak to me, give me advice, and hopefully some other men will listen and share that advice with other men as well. This is not about why women are victimized. This is about why men are perpetrating violence against women. I look forward to the bright future where this damn article and all of the articles like it don't exist anymore. Stay safe, everybody. I love you dearly. And a special thank you to the researchers involved in this study. Take care.